Good evening, Robert here. Nothing for real instructions on tonight, but I wanted to just do a quick run through, a quickie, if you will. I did some disassembly, and boy, this guitar is a mess. Let's look right here for a minute. You can see that the body of the guitar, the bout, and all this is delaminating. To begin with, my intentions were to just take some glue, work in the cracks, and this area here, trying to move slow enough, those are actually pretty thin. I mean, I could pinch those together with some glue and some clothespins for a clothesline, and everything would work fine. But what I discovered was, and I'm not trying to put this on a tripod because it's a quick one and that, but I discovered that by using my little plastic sheet, I could go between and keep working, and as you can see where I've worked down to is separated all three layers. But this particular layer, if you look, this is where it started. And see if I can pull this around. Maybe you can see kind of a, it's not a white powdery, but it's definitely a crystallized glue form is what it is. This being plywood, I'm not sure what they use for the plywood, but over the years it started coming apart. So I'm going to continue in that direction, separate it, re-glue it back together, see what I get. The tail pieces and the V-block, this stuff, I'm pretty much convinced that this is hide glue. It acts just like it. You know, you get it hot, it gets soggy, and I was using, as you can see, the heat gun there. I used it to work all this loose, and it worked great. But the V-block, the tail block, I'm probably going to replace that one. I don't know what kind of wood it is, but I think I'll probably replace it. The V-block, I think I can just clean it up. You can see it's off center pretty bad, but I think I can clean it up, get it back where I want it. The front of the guitar, it has the same separation in the sides and the layers of the plywood, so I won't work it apart. But as you can see, I've got all the ribs off the back. This in complete layers. All that's left to do with it is actually to get it laid down flat, and then sand or scrape down to the bare wood, not metal. Maybe using these scrapers, which these are some I made out of a regular metal file, metal working file, and patterned them after what StewMac has. Seemed to work pretty good. The kerfing, there it is. I just gave up. This stuff, let's see how close we can get. See how bad that stuff is? But it's brittle. I mean, really brittle. Nothing's going to work. There's no way to bend it. So I decided to trash that. Just don't even worry about it. Cut me some more out of whatever I choose, probably. Got the fretboard. Generally what I've been doing with it, just to keep it from getting crazy, it's got a little bit of warpage to it. I've actually been placing it down here under this end and keeping a couple of blocks and these two clamps resting on it. That keeps it pretty flat. But as I mentioned in one of the earlier videos, what I'll do is I'll get this pulled down flat on something so that's held as flat as I'm going to get it, and I'll run this side through on my joiner, just barely take enough to get it flat, flip it over, then I'll do the same thing here. Then I'll just take my fret saw and come back in with the frets till I get them where I want them. And then I'll either, for the ivory, I'll either just put some wood dots or find something like ivory. The interesting one is going to be this neck. And what I ran into, this block had already been removed, already fell off. This one, as you can see the outline of a crack. It wasn't all the way through, but this area here, see if I can get a better angle on the light, you can see this area, the glue wasn't touching. And you could see all the way around where there was an open crack, and I was going to have to do something with that, and I wasn't sure how strong the joint was, so I decided to err on the side of safety and took a chisel, and you can see here, right here, where I took a chisel and just popped the block off, and it didn't come off perfectly flat. So it had a better glue contact, a better grip than I thought. But what I'll do now is, because I need to hold the same height, of course, I'll flatten this back out like I want it. This one, I will reduce the height maybe by 1/8 of an inch and add a contrasting piece of wood in there, and then probably do the same thing with this one, and to get everything back where I want it to be. Down here, as you can see, we got cracks all through here, so I'm going to have to do something there. I'm not sure if I'm going to get creative with some inlay, or if I'm actually going to maybe shave it down in thickness this way and maybe put a veneer here and a veneer on the back side. See if I can work this neck loose without dropping it, since I'm holding the camera. The front side where the fretboard rests actually looks very well. I'm not too worried about it. And I'll have to do something here. Overall, it's going to be fun. Okay, that's it for the night. That's where I'm at, and from here on out I'll be separating the two sides, getting all the veneer separated, and then I'll see what I have to do to get them cleaned up and re-glued. On that one, I will be making a video whether it's a success or a fail. You'll get to see it. Thanks for watching. Bye.